Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Taking a quick look here again at Avalanche, seeing what's going on. We're going to talk a little bit about this trend line we talked about yesterday, or more so support level. Previous resistance at 1970 came down there today essentially to close above. So the 4-hour time frame is looking pretty decent. We might actually get that bounce off that 1975 mark, as we talked about yesterday, being an important level for support. We're also going to extend out our support levels here, or our descending trend rather, and just kind of double check a few key factors here on the back end. So if you're new to the channel, just know I love to teach people to trade. As simple as that. This is a phenomenal job to be able to work with awesome people like yourself every day. So thanks again to my community for being wonderful, and obviously helping us grow the channel. So if you want to like the video, comment below, deeply appreciate that. Jumping over to our Discord as well if you want to join in on our premium group. We got some fantastic trades here. Look at this. This is our scalping trade. We scalped XRP short, AVAX short, and ETH short. Now I think our trading bots have switched since then to longs because Bitcoin's doing fairly well right now. It looks like it's wanting to recover. But the truth is, our swing trades are doing really well too. 108% for Terra Classic, Uniswap, 26% KNC30. So it's just a fantastic weekend for us, and sent out a few trades last night. Hopeful those will do very well here soon as well. So let's talk about the back end and work our way down. So this is Avalanche for the last 7 trading days. Okay, we have the most amount of liquidity, basically just a high amount of volume for liquidation at about $22. Okay, so the price comes up to $22. We'll see that sweep, and a lot of shorts will get wrecked. So again, not saying you should be careful shorting, because we shorted recently and we actually have one open still, but the truth is there's a lot more value at the higher price point than the lower price point. So a lot of whales will see that, they'll try to push it there, sweep all that the liquidity once the lower levels have been taken care of. Speaking of taken care of, you take a look at these lower levels here, there's still a decent amount between 19 and 19.5. Okay, so do with that information what you will, but generally speaking, you can kind of expect a target on $22 back, if that makes any sense, in the relative near future, just based on that high amount of liquidation at that level. Okay, now we'll look at that on the charts here, and just to kind of clarify, $22 is this guy right here. Okay, it's the most recent high. It's really common for liquidation levels to be right above most recent highs, because that's where people put their stop losses and essentially want to close their position if the price goes to that level, because they probably got in somewhere close to there. Okay, generally the concept. All right, so now that we've established that, let's look at the daily and work our way down, and we can kind of note that we do have this pennant type of pattern here, or excuse me, more of a wedge pattern. And oftentimes with wedges, they typically break out once the price squeezes to a specific price point. We're not quite there yet. We've had a doji candle here so far today. This is, truth be told, this is actually, even though it's red right now, if we close close to where we're at, that would actually be a bullish type of candle, because it's closing closer to its open at a higher price point. It tells us that within that 24-hour period, the price action swung down all the way back up to where it started. Again, we've got 8 hours left in this candlestick. I'm not saying that's going to happen exactly, but something to pay attention to. I like to look at candles and kind of double check a few things here. Let's look at the moving averages. We came right down to the 20-day SMA and rejected off of that at 1950, kind of reiterating that support at 1960, 1970. Okay. Again, so a lot of liquidation at that level. Keep in mind there could be one more sweep there, but generally speaking here at this point, we've got somewhat of a support between 1950 based on moving average and 1970, 1980 based on recent highs working as new lows. Okay, so that's just a possibility. Is it a probability at this point? It's hard to say, honestly. Like, there's really not enough data here so far to give me any firm indications we should take a long or a short. We are now under the 100-day SMA and below the 20 and the 50. Those are all bearish signs. So keep in mind that's going to work adversely against us unless we close above. We're below 50 on the RSI. A lot of altcoins are exuding the same behavior, working themselves under 50, which is commonly a bearish sign, really. I mean, you can almost draw a line. Anything under 50 is bearish. Anything over 50 is bullish. Again, it's not super bullish, obviously. We came above 50 recently and continued lower. So there's a lot of other factors you got to look at. But generally speaking, that's the concept, right? We can kind of presume we're bearish at this point. We take a look at the RSI, we can see that, money flow index, MFI, that is effectively bouncing off that lower level. So we could see a somewhat of a rally here, a really short rally. A lot of times they're considered to be dead cat bounce. Price didn't drop significantly hard to bounce at all, but generally speaking, we want to be on the lookout for the price continuing to go lower, because again, we haven't broken that descending trend line yet. Until we do, we have no reason to go long. Same thing here as well with the MACD convergence, there's no convergence. The price action is just slowly losing momentum to the downside. Okay, so that's a good sign. It's just not a great sign. Okay, not a good enough sign to want to take a position. We did hit a 9 on TD sequential. We're kind of going sideways since, so we could actually be at our bottom here for Avalanche. But what we want to look at is the 1 hour and confirm a few key factors. First of all, hourly, we can see we hit a 9 on TD sequential, came up to a 5, back down to a 6, up to a 7 now. So we're not really overextending ourselves too much with this coin, which is kind of good in a lot of ways. What is bad here, though, however, is of course being well below the cloud. Some coins, such as Bitcoin, are kind of right here, where they just broke above the cloud. They're showing a lot of other positive contributing factors, but Avalanche hasn't shown us that yet. We haven't even converged above the baseline yet, and we have lagging span within the price action. So there is 0 out of 3 reasons to take a long, and 2 out of 3 reasons to not open or keep your short position open. What that basically just implies that you shouldn't be in a position right now. Okay. So again, I know that's those are swear words to some folks, potentially those who are watching that have an itchy trigger finger. But I can tell you, patience pays off. Try to wait for good opportunities, and don't just jump into a bad one because you're trying to convince yourself it's a good trade. If you have to convince yourself it's a good trade, it's a bad trade. That's all there is to it. You'll get lucky sometimes, but for the most part, it will average out negatively, and your portfolio will continue to bleed. Okay. So again, just some friendly advice. Be patient, wait for confirmation. I would say confirmation for this coin would be, first of all, breaking above this descending trend. Lower high, lower high, lower high. We can break this. We can establish, just say a new trend with that basically being the new low. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for higher highs and higher lows. Neither of those things have occurred yet. Okay. So just some friendly advice. Wait and be patient on this coin right now. Okay. Thanks again for watching. I hope you learned something here today. You want to become a better trader again. CryptoCash.tech is a site. I'll go ahead and submit our review here. Of course, I always provide you with on my Twitter, Telegram, and Discord, I provide you with playout charts. If you're not familiar with that, check that out. We have that available for whichever medium works best for you. Discord, I would say, is probably the best place to jump on over, so you can get to know our traders and engage in conversation. We got some really cool traders here, and it's just a lot of fun. Some people are blowing their minds, right? All right, thanks again. Hope you have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.